Hi guys, Matt V's Movies back for another video, and today is a follow-up video to a video that I've done recently about when I predict physical media will end. Been a very popular video, that one, lots of comments. So it's only my opinion. I don't want to see the death of physical media like anybody else, but I'm kind of trying to be a bit realistic and think about the industry as a whole. But I found an article online which I'm going to read some of it to you because it gives a bit of a different perspective on things. So we're going to get into that today on the channel. So welcome back. So yeah, I've got this article here. It's come from Trusted Reviews, and the title is "What's All the Negativity Around Physical Media?" So let's just read what it says. So you might have seen the announcement from Sony saying that it was ceasing production of recordable Blu-Ray and other media such as mini discs and mini DVs, and only in Japan, I should add. This is an article by somebody called Cobb Moni. The reaction to this news was much more anxiety fueled than you would have expected for something so niche. Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I do think a lot of people, when they hear this kind of thing, they do sort of panic a bit, expect the worst. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. Several websites interfered that Sony was pulling out of the Blu-ray business full stop, which is absolutely not. But the reaction to this was minor piece of news exemplified a few things on how people feel about physical media. One is that people are passionate about Blu-rays, compact discs and vinyl. And yeah, I think I totally agree with that. There has been a resurgence of vinyl recently in the last few years. And we're seeing that with HMV. I mean, HMV, they did go into administration 2 times. But now with the company taking over, I forget the name of them, but they were very much a vinyl company. So they have brought, the vinyl back to HMV along with the physical media. People are passionate about Blu-rays, compact discs and vinyl more than you'll ever find somebody passionate about a Netflix stream. Absolutely. I mean, you can't collect streaming, can you? Yes, you can collect a digital library, but it's not the same as all of this kind of stuff. But the passion also tips into anxiety. Anything resembling bad news about physical media is jumped on as if the bells were tolling and the Blu-rays were about to be put into a coffin. Yeah, exactly. I do think, people don't like to hear this news at all. But like I say, I think we have to be realistic and we have to realise that this is a niche market, and this could come to an end. I'm not saying it will come to an end, but it certainly could do. Certainly from business points of view, if they see the mass appeal that people want digital, and there's only a very small number of people picking up physical copies, they have to look at it from a business point of view. So it goes on and it says, we really should stop being so negative about physical media. Yes, physical media sales are considerably less compared to the heyday, but tastes change, and newer generations grow up seeing things from a different perspective. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. What was a decade ago, or 2, or 3, will now be outdated today. Yeah, I mean, a lot of younger people now aren't necessarily interested in this. In our UK community, there are a few young people, and that's nice to see that they still are interested in the physical media side of things. But on the whole, a lot of the younger generations prefer to have digital. There will be some who swear that Laserdisc is the superior format to 4K Blu-ray. Wow, that is a surprise. But we don't live in that world anymore because times move on. Absolutely. I mean, I'd be surprised if somebody said that DVD was a better format than 4K, and to hear Laserdisc is a real surprise. But the great thing about physical media is that it has staying power through the various travails it has experienced. Everything through VHS was dead, the same for vinyl, CD and the current home entertainment formats when facing off against the might of streaming, but they have persevered. Physical media isn't a fad, and while it doesn't have the same foothold or influence in the market, they represent something that streaming can't manage. Absolutely, I totally agree with that. Streaming makes things convenient, and that's the big thing, isn't it? Convenience. The mass people, people around the world. I'm not just talking about the UK. I'm talking worldwide here. It's the convenience of being able to watch it on the go. People do consume movies on their phones. I know there are directors that hate that. Personally, I don't would want to watch a film on a phone. I have watched films on smaller devices, on tablets, but yeah, you can't beat watching it on a big television or on a big screen. There's a sense of impertinence about it, a sense of things that come and go, but you're not engaged by it. Physical media doesn't just represent something you can hold in your hand, but something that matters to you on an emotional level. Yeah, I mean, these collector's editions, a lot of people don't like these collector's editions and say it's full of tat and stuff, but I think if you're passionate about a film, you get an emotional attachment to it. And me looking through this wonderful edition of, say, Star Wars, with the wonderful artwork, it really does make you feel something on an emotional level. So yeah, I would totally agree with that. Just this week it was revealed that sales of physical media in the UK were up, buoyed by films such as Wonka, Dune Part 2 and Oppenheimer. I don't believe that there's a lack of interest in home cinema, but I do believe that there's been a lack of quality in both film and TV since streaming entered the conversation. Yeah, and I think we've talked about this, certainly with Netflix. A lot of the films that we're seeing on Netflix are very forgettable. It's being churned out like a conveyor belt. It's such a shame to see sort of art, from back in the day. I mean, the 80s was such a wonderful time, wasn't it, for, groundbreaking, even the 70s, groundbreaking films like Jaws, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. But across the years, we've had some fantastic films like The Shawshank Redemption, Blade Runner, The Matrix, all of these wonderful films which few and far between now that we see since the time of streaming. Now we had Dune Part 1 and Part 2. For me, epic films, fantastic on the big screen. Yeah, it's a shame that streamers have introduced this sort of apathy with sort of films just being churned out. It goes on to say, people will buy physical media if the quality is good enough. Absolutely. I mean, for me, I'm really only looking for films that speak to me now, that I've enjoyed the cinema experience, like Dune Part 1 and Part 2, and I want to go back to them and revisit them on my home cinema system, with the sound and the best picture quality, 4K, HDR, etc. We got James Cameron's older films in 4K, though you could argue ferociously about the quality of the transfers. Yeah, I mean, last year we had that, didn't we, with Aliens? A lot of people didn't like the AI interference. Me personally, and I've said this before, I enjoy the experience of both types. I enjoy, the 4K side, seeing all the detail and stuff that I've never seen before. But I always appreciate the Blu-ray, which is a much darker lit film, leads more to the imagination and this kind of thing. So yeah. So it goes on to say, in 2025, it looks to be a stronger year for the format, with Sean Connery Bond collection coming to 4K. Yeah, I have heard that. Again, I'm not so sure whether I want to upgrade to all of the Bond films on 4K. Lowry did some fantastic restoration work on the DVDs, which were then ported over to the Blu-rays. I'll be interested to see what the quality is going to be like on a 4K transfer. I certainly won't be jumping straight into it. I want to see whether there's a vast improvement in the picture quality. For myself, I only pick up certain Bond films. I do have all the Daniel Craig films on 4K anyway, but the Live and Let Die, Man with the Golden Gun, Moonraker, Goldfinger, yeah, I want to see whether it's really worth investing in 4K. So I should be waiting for reviews before I sort of, upgrade, because I'm not always quite sure whether upgrading is really necessary. He also goes on to say the first Lethal Weapon film will be coming out, the Dollars trilogy. Yeah, I've seen that and have pre-ordered those. The Nice Guys, and there are rumours of Michael Bay's Armageddon receiving a 4K restoration from Disney. That'll be done by Sony, won't it? Again, I've got the DVD of Armageddon. I don't have the Blu-ray, and I do think it will probably look spectacular on 4K. But again, I'm going to wait and see exactly what editions come out. If there's a collector's edition, then I am very tempted by that. But let's wait and see. What else have we got? David Fincher joining with Seven. Yeah, I've not picked that one up yet. I've got the DVD of it, but yeah, I'm not too sure. I may wait for a price drop on Seven. Fantastic film. And Panic Room as well. That's another one. I do have the DVD of that. Really enjoyable film, but do I need to upgrade that at the moment? Probably not. I think I'll wait for a price drop. I haven't watched the film this year. I did watch it last year for the first time for some time. Did enjoy it, but again, is it really a film that I need in 4K? Not too sure at the moment. And then finally in this article, he kind of wraps up and he says, sure, there are complaints to be had about the state of physical media, home entertainment, but it hasn't been abandoned just yet. Really, all you can do is buy the titles that are made available and enjoy them. Absolutely. Um, you know, there are some wonderful films that have been made throughout the years of cinema that we've had so far, and some of these you really want to get some great editions, some 4K editions, but you don't have to upgrade everything. That's what will sustain 4K Blu-ray going forward. Yeah, for the collector, a niche market. And I do think the boutique labels will continue to produce some wonderful editions. For how long, well, I'm not too sure, but only time will tell. So rather than being negative, let's be positive about what there is. Absolutely, and this is what I did say in my previous video. Let's be positive about what we have, this golden age of physical media that we're in. We're getting some fantastic films, some fantastic editions, transfers. But again, it's all about picking and choosing what films you love, what's right for you as a collector. Don't feel you have to collect everything in 4K. All these collector's editions aren't meant for everybody. They're meant for people that love those films, and there are so many different films out there, and we don't love them all. We don't have to collect them all either. So that was just some extracts from that article. I think it's got a very positive spin about it, and I know there has been a lot of negativity around this subject in the last week or so, and maybe I have given you a little bit of that negativity. I'm afraid I sort of see myself as a realist in this sort of thing. I think for the mass population, they're not that interested in physical media. However, there is still a niche market which I'm part of. I love collecting this stuff, and it's great to see some really nice editions coming on to the market. But from a realistic point of view, I'm not sure how long this is going to last. I've said in my previous videos, it could be 5 years. People are saying no, it's never gonna stop. We don't know that. It's down to the manufacturers of the players as to when they decide, if they decide to cease production of the players, and it's also down to the numbers. Are these companies making money out of selling the physical media? If that continues, then they will continue to produce physical media for a long time. But I like I say, it's only a prediction of mine. I don't exactly know I have no facts on it. I'm just looking at it from a business point of view, you know, and yeah, it's just my thoughts. As I say, you know, like I said before, let's carry on talking about this, showing these editions, reviewing these films, talking about them on live streams. Yeah, it's a great hobby to be in. Can be expensive, so you know you've got to be careful. Budget, you know, don't have to pick everything up. You know, just take your time with it. It's taken me 30 odd years to build this collection. You know, I was collecting back in the 90s. Yeah, it's a great hobby, and let's hope it continues for as long as it can. So thanks ever so much for watching. Please give the video a thumbs up. Comment down below on this. Do you think this, you know, is good news? Bit of positivity. Let's keep things positive, but let's also be realistic. Yeah, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. If you're new here, thanks for watching the video, getting to this point. Yeah, why not consider subscribing to the channel? Hit the subscribe button down below. Come and join me. I've got a wealth of playlists on the channel. Do chats like this. There's some more coming up. And yeah, it's just as and when I get inspired to do them. So yeah, if you like this kind of thing, yeah, why not consider subscribing? Right, well, that's the end of the video, guys. Take care and see you next time. Bye now.